Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? We got some interesting news to talk about. This morning, Shams from The Athletic came out with an article, and the article states that the New York Knicks have shown a willingness to discuss D Rose and Quickley in trade talks. Now, we saw an SNY report earlier in the week that the Knicks have received calls about Quickley. So now we got a lot to talk about because is this a possibility? Is Immanuel Quickley and or Derrick Rose on the way out? Now, I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the chat as well as we continue the stream. But my overall thoughts, and good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday, is pretty crazy. Didn't really expect this. The Knicks have a deep roster, and there's a lot of players out of the rotation right now that I think deserve some minutes. Quentin Grimes, not in the rotation. You can even throw in Deuce McBride, not in the rotation. I'd love to see McBride get minutes. Obviously, we know Evan Fournier is out of the rotation right now, which I'm not sad about, by the way. So, according to this report, it says as a way to sort out the team's glut at the guard position over the course of the season. Now, I am reluctant to trade Immanuel Quickley. I think IQ has a lot of potential with this team. His defense has been spectacular in the past couple of games. He's young. If you're going to trade someone, it should be Derrick Rose, in my opinion. Nothing against D Rose. I love him. He's a pro's pro. But if you're going to trade one of these two players, I'd prefer to trade Derrick Rose because Immanuel Quickley still has an element to his game that I love, and it's defense. And this team lacks defense. He clamped up Jamal Murray on the final possession to win the game in Denver last night or 2 nights ago. But if their mindset is, okay, we're replacing Quickley with Quentin Grimes in the rotation, and they can get some draft picks back to eventually use to get a star down the line, I guess. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? This came out of nowhere. I know that there was a report a week ago about it, and we also heard that there's rumors about the Knicks being interested in Jay Crowder. So this tells me that the Knicks front office is not content with the current state of this Knicks team. They are not content. They're looking at this roster. They're looking at how they're performing. And we have a winning record right now by one game. But the Knicks front office is thinking to themselves the same thing that the fan base is thinking, that this team could low-key be in purgatory mode in terms of just being in the middle of the pack. We don't have the stars to be able to compete for a championship. We don't have what it takes to be a contender in the East, but we're not bad enough to be tanking for a lottery pick. We're in the middle. We're a play-in team. You know, we had 2 huge wins on the road already, and then we have another game tonight that we can talk about later. But I feel like the Knicks front office is looking at this team, and they want to make some moves. If you're going to trade someone, trade Evan Fournier. I mean, that man's out of the rotation. He deserves minutes somewhere else, right? But I'm kind of confused about the idea of trading Immanuel Quickley because I still think in year number 3, he has a lot of value on the Knicks. And yeah, he might have a value in the trade market because he's a valuable player. My biggest thing about Quickley that's been so impressive to me so far this season is not his shooting, it's not his playmaking, it's not his offense, it's his defense. And why trade away, low-key, your best player off the bench on the defensive side of the ball? If that's what Tom Thibodeau is priding himself on with his team. The defense has been the issue all year, guys. We all know that. That's no secret. And Quickley has been sensational off the bench on the D. Getting steals, locking people down in the clutch, providing a spark, throwing up the alley-oops to Jericho Sims, being a playmaker, right? He hasn't had a perfect season, Quickley. I'm not saying he's a star in the making, but I think he has value. And if you're going to, I don't know, man. I'm just not on board with trading Quickley personally. So let's get into the chat. Good morning, Benny. How you doing, my friend? Not says if we trade both, we will have 1 point guard, though. So, yeah, facts. I mean, right now we have Brunson as our starting point guard, and then we have D Rose as the backup point guard, and then we have Quickley, who's the combo guard, can play on and off the ball. You trade both of them away, who's the backup point guard? Deuce McBride? Joshua says, I'm fine replacing Quickley with Grimes. Yeah, I love Grimes. He needs minutes, but I want Quickley with Grimes personally. I feel like those two players would complement each other in the backcourt very well with shooting and defense. Good morning, Rebel. What's good, bro? If it's for SGA, I will trade away all of them. Well, that's a different conversation. If this is all to go for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, then yeah, right? You consider trading away Quickley. You would consider trading away all those draft picks that we were unable to sacrifice for a Donovan Mitchell or DeJounte Murray trade. That's a completely different conversation. But according to these reports, according to Ian Begley as well, that the Knicks are sorting out draft compensation for Quickley. You feel me? They need to trade Evan Fournier. I agree. Send Randall and Fournier too. Now, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Randall this year, not going to lie, but the only thing about Randall that hurts me is it's still holding Obi Toppin back, right? You okay on trading Quickley for an Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type talent? Yes, I am. I love Quickley, but I don't think that he is, on that same conversation as an SGA, right? I definitely consider that, but I don't want to trade Quickley just to get him, just to give opportunities for other players on the team for draft picks, unless there's a star on the horizon. Because there's enough of this, like, all right, we're acquiring draft picks for a star. All right, well, where's the star, Leon Rose? Where's the star? You tried to get a star all offseason. You failed. You failed. And you failed. So we know that there's a star trade coming. It's just a matter of time, everybody. Sorry to spoil it, but it's a matter of time until the Knicks trade for a star. We don't know if it's going to be a good or bad trade, but it's a matter of time. So, guys, hope you're having a fantastic Friday morning. If you guys could do me a gigantic favor, smash that like button on your way into the show, everybody. We're just getting started here on the live stream to really break down the news, break down the report from The Athletic. If you guys want to check out the report yourself, I linked it down below in the description, but it is from Shams. It is from The Athletic, the most reliable source there is out there. So it's less of a rumor rather than a report, because this is some real stuff. So, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like button on your way into the show. Grab your Knicks mug. Drink some coffee with me. And let's talk some ball, baby. Salute. Keep Quickley. I agree. Indeed says, I'd rather trade Grimes, to be honest. Interesting. I want Grimes to get minutes. I want to see Grimes and Quickley together, low-key. Benny says, the real question, who are the Knicks hoping will be available star-wise to trade all these picks to? A lot of people are expecting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but, like, would the Thunder want to trade him away? The Thunder are set up with already a crazy amount of draft picks. Do they even need more draft picks? If I'm the Thunder, I'm not trading him away. I'm building around him. Thunder trade him away. The only way the Thunder trade him away is if SGA goes to the Thunder and he's disgruntled and he's like, get me out of here. Right? That's the only way that happens. But then at the end of the day, we have Brunson. So is Brunson and SGA going to be, is that going to work together? Two ball dominant? We'll see. They need to trade RJ Bumass. Make everything look hard. Hasn't improved in any area and moves in slow motion. Well, Trevor, I can tell that you are over RJ Barrett. Now, listen, RJ Barrett's season so far, it's definitely not been a good one. Started off very slow. Then he had a 6-game stretch of playing very good basketball, helping the team win. And then now he is a little under the weather, according to Mike Breen. And you can tell that he's very lethargic on the floor. His legs aren't underneath him. He keeps shooting the ball when he shouldn't be shooting the ball. And he just does not look like himself. And I'm not concerned about that. I think it's just a little cold that he has, and he's going to get through it. I've seen RJ Barrett play basketball for a while with the Knicks, just like you have. And he's a hot and cold type of player. And I'm hoping that he can eventually find his groove. But RJ Barrett's probably not going to get traded, even though you never know, because the Knicks were including RJ Barrett in trade talks in the summer. So I don't think he's untouchable, to be honest. I honestly thought he was untouchable until I saw him being included in packages for Donovan Mitchell. So we'll see. All this means is the Knicks are not re-signing Quickley when he's up. Yeah, I mean, they have another year with him next year, so I don't know why they're quick to trade him now. If you're not going to re-sign him, you still have him for this year and next year. It's a little premature to trade him right now, in my opinion. I think they know they have to make a decision on Obi, Quick, and Cam, and they have to move one early. They do. Cam Reddish is due to be a free agent after the season. That's someone that is playing good basketball with the Knicks, by the way, and they're going to have to pay one of these three players, both of these three players, all three of these players. We don't know who they want to keep. But the smart move for the Knicks front office would be exactly that, trading away these players that they feel like is not part of the future. Because you don't want a player to walk in free agency and you don't get anything back. You want to be able to get something in return if one of the players walks. And don't think they're going to be able to retain all three of these players. If this helps an SGA this offseason, I will move them for all assets to help. Yeah, I mean, obviously Knicks fans want him. We saw him cook us on Sunday last week. Package Quickley and Cam because Cam will be a free agent and we probably can't keep him. Yeah, I mean, the trade deadline is going to be interesting, but the Knicks are already looking to make trades right now. I mean, they're fielding calls. Leon Rose is definitely going to be doing something. They might move him because he's always hurt. Who's always hurt, Benny? SGA, you mean? We already locked up too much money and we have decisions to make on Obi, Quickley, and Cam. It's likely we may not be able to keep 2 or 3 of those players. They might try to draft a new Cam. Yeah, that's a good point. I just talked about this. You're not going to be able to keep all 3 of them. You might not be able to keep 2 of the 3. You're maybe 1 of the 3. I mean, I hope at least we keep one of these 3 players for the long run. And, the question is, Randall is the starting power forward. He's inked up long-term. Are you going to give Obi Toppin a second contract as the backup behind Randall? Or are you going to give Quickley a second contract to be that bench guy off the bench? Or are you going to give a second contract to Cam Reddish to be the starting wing? Which I'm loving. I'm loving Cam Reddish, by the way. Loving Cam Reddish right now. But he is a free agent after this year. Reddish will have to take a team-friendly deal. He hasn't proven anything. Obi has 1 more year before they make a decision. IQ will probably get traded. Yeah, so both IQ and Obi Toppin have another year on the books with the Knicks. Cam Reddish does not. And you're right, he hasn't proved anything yet, right? We've only seen a couple games. But Cam Reddish has a whole season to prove his worth with this Knicks franchise. He has the entire year to prove that he should be a piece for the future or not. Now, he might have to prove up until the deadline, because if the Knicks don't feel like he's part of the future, then they're going to have to trade him so they get something back instead of letting him walk in free agency. So that's why all these things are happening very fast. I love how Randall's playing, but I don't see him here long-term, so I would only trade Quick if he is attached to Randall and we get an unprotected pick back. I don't think the Knicks are going to try to move off of Randall. I really don't. I know the fan base wants it to happen. I really understand you guys, but I don't think the Knicks front office is looking to trade Randall. And I don't want to break this to you guys. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but Julius Randle is the best player on the Knicks right now, in my opinion. You can argue him and Brunson. You could say Brunson's better than Randle, but I think they coincide each other. Now, Randle has been up and down. He hasn't been perfect. He's not the superstar. He's not a star. That's not what I'm saying. But Julius Randle is the Knicks right now. And if you trade away Randle, then you trade away a big piece of this team that is a big part of this franchise. And I know that I might, turn fans the wrong way when I say that, but it's just he's the best player on the Knicks. And if you don't want to admit it, I'm sorry. But and the bad thing about that is it hurts because I love Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is one of my favorite players on this Knicks team, and Randall is a reason why Obi doesn't get the opportunities. OKC is not going to trade SGA for peanuts. We don't have a single player they want, and they're flush with picks. Stop. Exactly. Like, why is the Thunder going to want to trade away him if the Thunder are already stacked with picks? Like, if I'm the Thunder, I'm not trading him. Right? The Thunder don't need picks. They need players. Jules is by far the best player we got. I agree. I would trade Randall. He's been here multiple seasons, and we've been in the lottery every year that he's been here. He's not the guy. Yeah, I know. I know fans want to trade him away. I just don't see the front office doing it. I consider Randall a star the way he's playing. He could go for 2-time All-Star depending on our record. Yeah, he's playing like a star the past couple of games. No, you can't say Brunson is better than Randall. Brunson is not a defender. Yeah, I agree. I think Randall's the better player. I do. But I was assuming some people will say Brunson, but I think Randall's the best player. This team is going nowhere with Randall. Who cares that he's the best on the team? It's not making nobody better at all. And that is the problem with the state of the Knicks. that they are in a state of purgatory where they're not good enough to compete for, a top seed in the East, but they're also not bad enough to tank for a lottery pick to go for the superstar in the draft, right? So they're kind of in the middle. They're kind of a play-in team. So what do we do? And I'm sorry to tell you this, guys. I know there's like Randall haters everywhere, trade away Randall. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm just telling you guys, in my opinion, the front office is not looking at it like Randall's the issue here. They're not. They're looking at it in a way where we need to get a star that's better than Randall to pair him up with him. That's their mindset, in my opinion, right? Like, Julius Randle deserves some more respect. And I'm gonna have to start defending this man because I'm kind of tired of hearing all the Randle slander, even when he's playing like his heart out right now. Like, do you guys see what he did against the Nuggets? I know it's one game, but like Randle's playing like a different player this season. And I know he's up and down. He hasn't been consistent. He hasn't been dominating every game. But put some more respect on Julius Randle's name for this year, all right? He deserves some respect. But at the end of the day, I can admit that he's not good enough to take us to the promised land. And that's not my point, right? But I feel like Randall is not the issue with this team. It's the team around him. It's the team, like, we don't have, like, Randall, and I've said this all the time. Randall is good, but he's not good enough to be the number one option to carry this team to the promised land. And I think everyone understands that. You can give Julius Randle his credit. You can give Julius Randle his respect. But at the same time, you can understand that Randall's not part of the solution to save the team. And that's really what it comes down to, right? So you look at the team around Randall. You bring in Jalen Brunson, who's been very good for the Knicks this year. You re-sign R.J. Barrett to an extension, and he unfortunately has not really got his feet underneath him this year. Mitchell Robinson goes down with an injury, and our defense becomes terrible. And then Quickley is stepping in and playing well. Cam Reddish is starting to play in the starting rotation, and he's taking advantage of his opportunities. Tom Thibodeau is benching Evan Fournier, and now we have Quentin Grimes out of the rotation. And I'm going to include Deuce McBride out of the rotation because I think Deuce McBride deserves minutes, but there's not enough. There's no room for him. Stop with the Randall stuff. He's mediocre. All he does is get us smoked in the first round and get us a 12-15 draft pick. Randall don't fit this team timeline either. Listen, I understand where Knicks fans are coming from, and every Knicks fan deserves to be a right to be frustrated because there's no, like, vision right now. There's no, like, blueprint to, I know fans have these hypothetical scenarios, trade Randall for this player and this and that, but, like, it's a lot more difficult than you think. And we know that the Knicks front office are all in on getting a star, right? It's just a matter of who that star is, when he becomes available, who are we trading, is it actually going to happen? Because if you guys have been following my channel for a little bit, I covered the Donovan Mitchell trade all summer, and it was draining. It was so draining covering that, especially the fact that we didn't land him. You feel me? Oh my gosh. Trust says Randall isn't going anywhere. Knicks fans are trash. Hey man, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes our fan base very unique. We're a very passionate bunch. We all have our own opinions that we stick behind, and that's why I love being part of this Knicks community, man. Because we're a passionate, fiery fan base. That if you don't like what you like, you're gonna let you know, and if that's really my thoughts of that. No disrespect to anybody, in my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and it's my job here just hearing all these opinions and giving you guys my thoughts and being neutral with it, right? So, if you guys are not aware, if you're just tuning into the stream for the first time, this stream is talking about the report from Shams that the Knicks are willing to move guards D Rose and Immanuel Quickley to free up some playing time. And that does tell you that the Knicks are active on the trade calls and they're active of trying to make some moves. All right. And if you look at the current state of the Knicks, we are on a 2-game win streak on the road, which is great. But at the end of the day, we after watching this team for the past 15 games, it's it's hard to imagine this team making a playoff push with the roster, right? That they have. They lack defense. They lack a true closer. I know Brunson's been great in the clutch. I know Randall's been stepping up in the clutch at times, especially last Wednesday. But this Knicks team is in a state of mediocrity, and the question is, how the hell do we get over that hump? Like we're deep, right? And that's why we're interested in trading. And this is like a good problem to have, in my opinion, that we're so deep that we have players that are talented enough to play and they're not getting minutes. Like Quentin Grimes is not getting minutes, and he deserves minutes, in my opinion. And that's the problem that the Knicks have. They're deep with quality players, but they're not deep with stars, right? Quentin Grimes is a quality young player in year 2 that has a lot of promise. Immanuel Quickley is a quality role player off the bench in year number 3 with promise. D Rose is a quality veteran. And the Knicks have a lot of guards. Cam Reddish is a player that's a quality starter, right? None of these guys are like stars. We don't really have a star on this team. You can say Randall's a potential star, but he has not shown to be a star ever since his breakout year 2 years ago. Last year, he was not playing like a star. This year, you can't really say he's playing like a star. He's been up and down. Brunson, I mean, he can't say anything bad about Brunson, to be honest. He's been doing anything and more you want from a Knicks point guard. I mean, for God's sakes, Knicks fans, we've been waiting for a point guard to play like him in a long while. So shout out Brunson. But my point is, this Knicks team simply lacks stars. And if you don't have a star on your team, the only way you can win is playing together and playing within each other and trusting one another, playing great defense. And they're just not doing that right now. But at the end of the day, they have been doing it the past 2 games on this road trip. And if they beat the Warriors tonight, that's a 3-game road win streak. So, and I also have to bring up and I don't want to make excuses here, but the injury to Mitchell Robinson is a big deal defensively. So, that's really what it looks like right now. And then if you want to talk about potential trades packages for Quickley and Rose, I personally would not want to trade Quickley. I just feel like he has a lot of upside on this team, personally. D Rose, right? You could tell that he's kind of like, he's not a big piece of this team. So if you trade him away and that opens up Grimes, I'm okay with that. Even though I love Derrick Rose. I love him as a person. I love him as a leader. I love his mindset. I love his energy. I love everything about D Rose. I'd love to have him on the team. But the reality is, the front office is looking at this team just like the fan base, and they're seeing a mediocre team. And if they do not act fast, they're going to stick to mediocrity and stick to being here for a long time. So that's really my stance on this whole report. Things can escalate very quickly. We're seeing a lot of trade rumors all over the place. All over the place. Evan Fournier out of the rotation. That's someone you trade. And apparently the trade that that the Knicks are interested in doing is trading away Quickley for draft compensation. Now, that tells me that you're trading Quickley away for draft picks, and we know the Knicks are not using those draft picks anymore. I mean, they're done of drafting. They want to use those draft picks for stars. So they want even more ammunition to go get a star. But who the hell is a star? I mean, I saw a report that the Knicks are interested in trading for Jay Crowder. Why? What the hell is Jay Crowder going to do to this team? When I saw that, I'm like, bro, that's not happening, okay? If the Knicks trade for Jay Crowder, it makes no sense. The only way that someone asks, why would we need more draft picks? The only way we want more draft picks is for a trade, a big-time star. 116 watching, hit that like button, show some love. Thank you, James. I appreciate that, my man. Everybody, do me a gigantic favor. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Welcome to Knicks Media. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday morning. I see a lot of people are talking about SGA. But my thoughts of SGA, who I think is an absolutely sensational superstar, Why would the Thunder want to trade away their only big-time player when the Thunder are set up with so many draft picks already? Like, the Thunder don't want picks. They want players, right? They're at the stage of their organization where, unfortunately for them, their top draft pick, Chet Holmgren, out for his rookie season, which sucks for them. And they got a lot of young talent. But why would they trade SGA to the Knicks for a boatload of picks and like a role players? You feel me? Why would they do that? I don't agree with all your views, but you rock, kid. Thank you, good citizen. I appreciate that. Because listen, it's hard for you guys to agree with everything I say. You know, the Knicks are a very interesting conversation to have. The Knicks fan base are so passionate, and I give you a lot of respect for still giving me respect if you don't agree with all my views. Even though I hear everybody. I'm not a Knicks fan that hears someone say something and think they're 110% incorrect. I think everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and I think that this Knicks fan base has every single right to say they should trade for this guy, get rid of this guy, go get that guy. Like we're a fan base that had a taste of a big season 2 years ago, and we thought that this was going to be like the new era of the Knicks. And then we go into last year with a gigantic disappointment, and then we go into this offseason thinking that we're going to go get this star, this star, and this star. We strike out on every single one of them, and now we're in this season thinking we're in purgatory. So that's why I appreciate this, because I'm not expecting you guys to agree with everything I say. That'll be impossible, right? If you agreed with everything I say, then I don't know. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot of things to break down, and I kind of want to start talking about basketball instead of all these hypotheticals, because the Knicks are playing good ball the past couple of nights, and we got a big game tonight. We have a big game tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are not playing good, by the way. I mean, they're underperforming. And the Utah Jazz were undefeated on their home court. The Denver Nuggets were undefeated on their home court, and we beat them both on back-to-back nights on the West Coast. That is not an easy thing to do. So the Knicks to get 2 wins on the road is a big, big time. Big time. Hey, good citizen comes in here with $5. Thank you so much, my friend. The first super chat of the stream. Thank you very much, good citizen. I appreciate that. Good citizen wants to trade Randall, trade RJ Barrett, trade Evan Fournier, 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks for Anthony Davis and LeBron James, so we can have Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and Jalen Brunson. Okay. What do you guys think about this trade scenario by good citizen? He wants to trade Randall, RJ Fournier, all of our picks for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, so we can have a starting 5 of AD, Bron, Cam, Obi, and Brunson. Is that a championship team, guys? I think good citizen is on to something. I appreciate the donation, my friend. Very interesting stuff. Quickley is an untouchable, period. He and Brunson got something special going on. I agree. I think Quickley's untouchable, in my opinion. I think he's untouchable, in my opinion. The chat doesn't like that trade. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, obviously. The only way out of this mediocrity is by hitting in the draft. Yeah, and the Knicks haven't been bad in the draft, right? Like, hitting in the draft, I guess you mean by drafting a star, right? Like, I like Quickley and Obi's draft. I like Grimes and Sims, right? I mean, it's hard to draft a star. You want to find that diamond in the rough, that Nikola Jokic, that Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, it's hard to find those stars. And that'd be great if we could, but you're right. Tank. Now, this is the problem the Knicks are in. They can't tank to get him, and they're not good enough for a championship. Good citizen with another $5 says Lakers are ready to rebuild. I mean, they are screwed. Talk about a franchise that is absolutely screwed for the future. It's the Lakers. The difference between the Lakers and the Knicks is that the Lakers are all in to win right now because they have no future draft capital wise, and they're losing, and they're worse than the Knicks. The Knicks, on the other hand, we have to respect this about the Knicks. They might be in mediocrity right now. They may not be performing to the standards that we expect them to be right now, but they still have a lot of assets to work with, which is a very good thing, whereas the Lakers don't. So the good thing is that the New York Knicks, they have so many assets to be able to work their magic. And do I have confidence in them to work their magic properly? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't. I have mixed emotions about this Knicks front office, if you want me to be honest with you guys. They have not proven to me that they know what they're doing yet. They haven't. They haven't made the big splash. But we do know that there is a star trade coming. Whether it's in the middle of the season, at the deadline, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in this offseason, I don't know when it's going to happen. But we know that this Knicks team is going to trade for a star. And that means a lot of players in this Knicks team will be gone. It could be Randall. Who knows? It could be RJ. It could be Quickley. Could be Obi. Not all of them, but definitely a handful of them. Appreciate the $5 as always, good citizen. IQ is not untouchable because we won't pay him, only paying Cam and Obi. Yeah, I know. That's definitely a big reason for this is you look at the Knicks' future free agents, their own free agents. It's Cam this year, Quickley and Obi, not this offseason, the next offseason, and they're going to be due to be paid. So the reality is you can't pay all of them. So if you're not going to pay all of them, you should trade some of them to get something back. And it feels like the Knicks definitely have a move on the horizon. Good citizen with another $5. Keep up the good work. I'll check in again. I've been with you since day number 1. Damn, that's awesome. You've been with Knicks Media since day number 1. You don't agree with all my takes, but you still support the channel and sending in donations. Good citizen. You are indeed a good citizen. Thank you so much, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your day, my guy. And I cannot thank you enough for the generous donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's your realistic star we go for? Now, I see a lot of people talking about SGA, but I just don't personally see that as a realistic option because I'm putting myself in the Thunder's perspective. Why are they trading him? They have all the picks they need for the future. They don't need more picks. So why are the Thunder trading him? The only way they trade him away is if he says, I want out. And that could happen because he's in the prime of his young career and he wants to win. And they're like, you know, but I don't know if there's any other follow-up news about this report. But on Twitter, seeing this report is pretty interesting. And Ian Begley also talked about this. In a report last week that the Knicks are looking for draft compensation for Quickley. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, please do me a favor if you did not already. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. If you're not familiar with who I am and what Knicks Media has to offer, my name is Richie. I post consistent content here on the channel. We go over every single game and go live on the off days. And I give you guys the best Knicks content of my abilities. This is a space where Knicks fans are allowed to voice their opinions. There's no judging. There's no polarizing things where you say something you look like. And no, this is a Knicks YouTube channel that I host that is open to any type of belief system in terms of the Knicks, because we know that we have a fan base that is polarizing at times. And one fan says this and the other fan says, what? What do you think of that? We're all entitled to our own opinion, guys. We all want the same end goal, and that's to win a damn championship. And thinking about winning a championship feels like it's like totally. Is that ever going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen. I believe. Okay. We're going to win a championship in my lifetime. I'm going to manifest that. I don't give a crap if it seems like it's so out of reach right now, which it is, by the way, but I still believe. I think we're just in a weird time. Not a lot of good players that fit that teams are willing to let go. Rest of the league is meh. Yeah, kind of. I agree with that. Do you see any new trades New York does? I honestly don't. I mean, I see teams out there. They're calling for Quickly, but like it seems like the Knicks are interested in just trading Quickly away for draft picks to open up spaces for Grimes. I mean, is that really going to help this team out, guys? Unless you package those picks for a star, that makes no sense to me. They're not max guys. You can pay all of them. Contracts are going to run out. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Quickly, Cam, and Obi, they're not max guys. So there is a chance that we can retain all of them. But, when it comes to, they're going to have to take a discount because those players and their agents are going to want to make as much as they can. You know how it works. You know how it works. So check at Twitter right now to see if there's any other news. And there's not. So, um, listen, man, I see you guys all in the chat. I see the hate on Randall. I see the hate on RJ. I see a lot of it. I am not giving up on this on RJ Barrett yet. Personally, I don't think he's a bust. But listen, if you think he's a bust, that is totally okay. I'm not saying you're wrong because the reality is he's on a terrible 2-game stretch. He does not have his feet underneath him. He's ill, but if you're ill and if you're a little under the weather, RJ, why are you shooting the ball like 400 times, right? Just take a step back, RJ, and stop shooting. That's my take on that. But he's definitely not having a good season to start off. His efficiency, he has a 6-game sample size of great ball. Outside of those 6 games, he's been trash. So the consistency is the key for RJ, and he needs to be able to hone it back. The one thing about RJ that I've always respected about him is he has a tough mentality, and he never gets too high, never gets too low, which is why I always believe when he's in these deep slumps, he can always get out of it. And if RJ can continuously get better. And the one thing about RJ as well that I'm kind of concerned about is like he kind of feels like he's putting on too much muscle. Like you look at his tape as a rookie and you look at his tape at a Duke, he was thin and athletic and smooth and elusive and taking people off the dribble and not, like dunking on people. Like he kind of put on too much muscle to the point where he's a little like slow, right? But I think that's the reason for that. He wants to be able to like bully people. RJ had a similar start last season. People need to relax. I know. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. Trust me. He's a fine player. Is he enough to justify a third pick overall? I wouldn't say so. I mean, overall, man, obviously he got the second contract with the Knicks, and you expect a big improvement in year 4, and that's no doubt. I will say this: if he finishes the entire year with the numbers that he's been putting up the first 15 games, then yeah, then that's an issue. And this is the reason why he put on the weight. He's guarding threes. He's playing the small forward, and that's the reason why he put on that muscle. And I don't think it's a bad thing to put on the muscle. I just feel like he needs to start finishing at the rim more efficiently. That's really what it comes down to with RJ. Right? His shots will fall, but he needs to finish at the rim. If we're trading off players, I start with players that are not part of our future plans. Fournier and Rose. Then I'd consider trading Randall while his value is high. Yeah. Randall, Rose, Evan. Bye. I love Knicks fans. So, guys, if you're just tuning in, this Knicks report is from The Athletic and from Sham saying that the Knicks are willing to trade Immanuel Quickley and Derrick Rose. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Are the Knicks smart to trade away both of these players to open up playing opportunities? I know everyone's going to say, trade Randall, trade RJ, trade this guy, but we're talking about the report right here. We're talking about Quickley, and we're talking about Rose. Everyone that wants to trade Randall away can, just know that it's not happening. Just in my opinion, when it comes to the front office, I think Deuce McBride is a player that Tom Thibodeau loves and wants to get him minutes. I really believe that. Because especially if you want to talk about Deuce and talk about the defense, that's been an issue. But when you talk about Quickley, the one thing I love about Quickley so far this season is his defense, man. His defense has been spectacular the past couple of games. He has 4 steals. He locks up Jamal Murray for the game winner. I mean, Quickley's defense has been infectious. So there's a lot of things that's going to be happening. And what this tells me that the Knicks are definitely interested in making some moves. They are looking at this team and they understand that there's a lot of improvement to be made. And Tom Thibodeau, I'm giving credit to Thibodeau for the adjustments he's making. Because we know that Thibodeau is a stubborn coach, right? He's stuck in his old ways. He's not perfect. I'm not defending him. He has not been good this year overall. But I will give Thibodeau his respect for benching Evan Fournier and starting Cam Reddish, taking Evan Fournier out of the rotation. Those are things that Knicks fans have been begging for a long time, and he finally listened, and he's doing it, and we're winning. The Knicks are undefeated with Evan Fournier not playing, 2-0. So, got to give credit where it's due, but there's still a lot of things to criticize Thibodeau for, and I don't understand that. It's not my point. I'm not defending Tibbs saying that he's the coach for the next decade, but I do respect Thibodeau for being a coach to be disciplinary enough to understand that his job is on the line. He has to make changes, and he did. Bench Fournier, take him out of the rotation, give more minutes to Reddish. So, now will Thibodeau continue this stretch of good coaching? We'll find out, right? 2 games is a small sample size to really talk about. But when you really want to talk about this report that the topic of this Knicks stream is about, trading away Quickley is going to hurt the bench, in my opinion. Trading away D Rose to a win now team to open up more playing time for Deuce or Grimes, I get on board with that. Quickley's defense has been great. His playmaking has been great as well. I mean, he's been setting up Jericho Sims for those Gotham lobs. All those alley-oops and all those crazy highlights from Jericho Sims has all been set up from Quickley. So give more respect to IQ's playmaking. I know that Knicks fans are saying he's not a point guard. He dribbles too much. I'm not sitting here telling you guys Quickley he's a star or he's the future of this team, but I do feel like he has value. But if the Knicks don't feel like he's someone that they have interest in, and another thing about Quickley, by the way, that I want to see more from him is shooting the 3 and hitting the 3, because that's what he's supposed to be. Quickley's supposed to be a sharpshooter, and I like him. I like him taking people off the dribble and those little floaters and dishing it. But I want to see Quickley kind of get hot from 3, because that's really going to change the dynamic of his game. And we know that he can shoot. I mean, his rookie season was great, and his percentages do not really back up his narrative of him shooting the ball. And I think that his defense is a big reason why he's getting minutes, and it's a head scratcher why they want to trade him. Because if there's anybody on this team that's been impressive to me the most on the defensive side of the ball, It's Immanuel Quickley and Cam Reddish and Randall in that Nuggets game. Not this season for Randall, but in that Nuggets game, he was unreal defensively. Can we see that every night, Randall? Please? And we know that Quentin Grimes is an excellent defender, but he's not even playing. So that's where it's like, okay, are they trading away someone to open up a roster spot for him or not? So we know what we're getting from Quickley at this point. He's a player that likes the ball in his hands. He likes to run pick and rolls. He likes to shoot when he's open. He likes to attack. He's a score-first guard that also can be a playmaker that could play great defense. And if you want to break down the ways that we've won the last 2 games, it's as a squad. They are locking people down in the fourth quarter defensively. They are calming things down. Jalen Brunson is relaxed in the fourth quarter. He's clutch. Julius Randle as well. So if we can stick to those, let's get to 3 games tonight. Come on. I want to trade that really adds value to our team. Moving players just because you can is foolish. Yeah, I agree. I that's why when I saw this news, I was like, why? We'd like to see Sims get more minutes when Mitch is back, but he'll be back on the bench. Yeah, Jericho Sims deserves a lot of credit too, bro. I mean, his energy, his athleticism, his vertical. How about his defense? I mean, the second to last possession of the game against the Nuggets, he switches on to Jamal Murray on the perimeter and he locks him down. You know how hard it is for a center to play perimeter defense on an island and clamp him up and not go for the fake? Big time. Big time from Sims. Not to mention his rebounding and his Gotham lobs. Jericho Sims. Welcome. Quickley hit the weights. That's why his shot suffered. It's getting there. Quickley rebounds. He gets every 50-50 loose ball. He also doesn't turn over the ball. Facts. How about his rebounding, bro? Quickley had a 14 rebound game this year. I think Quickley is a lot more valuable than some Knicks fans are giving him credit for, in my opinion. You might be, not a gigantic Quickley fan, but you cannot, talk bad about these aspects. He hustles. He plays hard. He plays with passion. He goes for every single loose ball. When you have a guard that can rebound the ball the way he does, it's a very valuable asset, man. Very valuable asset. I love his mentality, man. And then talking about Obi Toppin real quick. Can we do that for a sec? Because Obi Toppin is like, listen to this. Obi Toppin is the best three-point shooter on the Knicks this season, statistically. Who the hell would have predicted that? Obi Toppin is the best three-point shooter on the Knicks this season. What? Who? Obi? Sniper? Sniper gang Obi? Bro, that man doesn't miss from 3. It's pretty crazy. And he comes in for like 10 minutes, impacts it, goes back to the bench. So I would like to see more of Obi on the floor. He's shooting like 41% or something crazy. So Obi's having a decent year, but it comes to this team. It comes to this team as a whole, man. I like Quick on a 4-year, $32 million deal. Oh, I do that in a heartbeat. IQ needs to be allowed to play like sweet Lou Will. Yeah, I mean, when we drafted him and we first saw him play, I always compared him to Lou Will. I really did. So, listen, man. A lot of things need to be cleaned up, but we're on a 2-game win streak, everybody. Vibes are high. Vibes are high. Are we guilty of taking IQ for granted? I ask myself, if IQ is so expendable, why is there so much interest in him? I think we are, in my opinion. I really do. There's more times this season where I'm watching Quickley play and impressed with him than not. There's more times when I'm like basketball, as you guys know, is way more than just shooting percentage. It's way more than scoring. There's so many parts of the game of basketball that impacts winning. It's hustle, fighting for loose balls, crashing the rebounds, being a willing playmaker, and playing defense. It's not about scoring. It's not all about that. And Quickley is a guy that is a willing scorer that impacts the game defensively, that impacts the game as a playmaker. He does. Like, now, has he been perfect this year? No. Has he been lighting it up? No. He had a game this season when he had 27 and 7 and balled. There are some glimpses where he does ball out. But at the end of the day, I think Quickley is a lot more valuable for this team than just trading away for a draft pick. I mean, we got good value for Quickley. We drafted him 25th overall. I like Quickley a lot, and I don't want him to be traded. Like that's obvious, right? I talked about that already. You guys know my stance on that. I would not trade Immanuel Quickley. No. IQ does a lot of things right. Underrated defender, great rebounding guard, can get hot, plays both point guard and shooting guard, tons of value. Exactly. So why trade him? I'm sick of having like a valuable player that's young and up on the rise and trading him. Like, no, keep that man. Because look at all the aspects that he does. Like all the value he brings to the table is important. When he's hot, he's unbelievably scorching hot, by the way. And if he's not hot scoring, that's fine because he could be a facilitator. He could run the pick and roll. He could be a rebounding guard. And he could be a very dominant defender. And the defense of Quickley is not just smoke, bro. Go watch him against Jamal Murray in that last possession. He clamped his ass. Like completely suffocated that man on defense. You could not have asked for better defense in the clutch. And it wasn't just a random play, right? It was the final possession, 10 seconds to go. Knicks down by 3 points, and they got to play defense and don't foul. Quickley stayed with him step for step. Like, that's valuable. That's not something you just give away. So I'm just not on board with trading away Immanuel Quickley, and I will stand by that. All right, but in all seriousness, guys, it feels good to be live right now, talking with you on this fine morning. I really do appreciate everybody showing Knicks Media tons of love. I know there's a lot of phenomenal Knicks content creators out there, and it means a lot that you guys tune into my show because I'm doing my own thing over here, obviously, and it feels good to be able to talk ball with you. It really does. This is my therapy session. It's like getting all of it out. But more importantly, my favorite part of doing this whole thing is hearing from you guys in the chat, hearing from all the great knowledgeable Knicks fans all across the world. Like, it's so cool because the one thing I always say about the Knicks fan base that tops anybody else, we are the most knowledgeable fan base in the world. Like, look at all you guys in the chat. Everything you guys are saying is so analytically driven. It's like just ball talk. Like, I just love it. I love that we can just sit here as a Knicks fan base and agree to disagree on some topics, you know, talk about ball, and it just feels good, man. And it's all love. And I'm just very thankful to be in this situation, man. I appreciate that. So, Knicks Media is on the rise. If you guys are not aware, I also have a bunch of YouTube channels. I also have a Jets YouTube channel, which is like been a lot, which is why my Knicks Media channel has not been as consistent. But the goal is to find that consistency and bring more Knicks Media content. I want to start going live more often on off days and go live after games. So stay tuned for that. All right. Stay tuned for that. But I appreciate that. You have to do more. You talking about me in my YouTube channel, or are you talking about the Knicks, or are you talking about Quickley? What are you referring to? Because I do feel like I have to do more personally on this channel, if that's what you're referring to. I definitely do. Grimes can take his spot in the rotation. Yeah, he can, but I want them both on the court together, man. I want them both on the court together. And Quickley can run the point. Grimes can't. So you don't trade him away. You do not trade him away. How do I find the Jets channel? The Jets channel is called Jets Media. So if you just type in Jets Media, click it, or just click on my channel, Knicks Media, and you'll see the links to all of my YouTube channels across YouTube. And Jets Media is my YouTube channel if you're interested, my man. I go live for every game. On everything, man. We need more updates. I got you, King Ribby RM. I'm your guy. Whenever there's updates like this, you know Knicks Media will provide it. Was anybody with me during the summer for the Donovan Mitchell stuff? Because that was crazy. It like drained me. I never covered more in my life, bro. That was so funny. I sub. Thank you, bro. That means a lot, man. That means a lot. You have to trade something to get something, unfortunately. That's a fact, D-Nice. That is a fact. So, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Let's get the final takes from you guys in the chat right now before we wrap it up. We're about to hit the hour mark. So, everybody in the chat, please do me a favor. Let me know. Do you want to trade Immanuel Quickley? Is he part of the future, or do you think he's expendable? And do you want to trade Derrick Rose? Because that's what the report's talking about. They want to open up the roster. They want to allow time for other players, and they're willing to trade these two players. So everybody in the chat, let me know right now. Is it smart for the Knicks to move off of these two players? And also, let's get to 100 likes. Would that be crazy? Would that be unreal? 74 likes right now? Let's get to 100. All right, let's get into the chat. What do you guys got to say? I subbed and I'm a Giants fan. Thank you, Big L. Thank you so much, my friend. The Giants are looking very good this year, too. Quick, Isaiah Evan, 2 picks to Minnesota. For Cat to Oklahoma, 2 picks, and we got SGA. Roberto's out there making some moves. 114-97 Knicks win. Hey, big Knicks game tonight, by the way. What is that at 10 o'clock tonight? What time is that game on? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Big Knicks game tonight. If we win 3 in a row, that's big, bro. It's big, big, big. Everyone is tradable on this team, my guy. Yeah, of course they are. I agree. But I still stand by. I don't agree that they should trade quickly, but I'm not saying they're untradeable. I'm not saying anyone's untouchable. No one wants to trade IQ, but he's definitely expendable. Yeah. It's no star to trade for. Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, if you're trading quickly, at least trade him for a star. Don't trade him for nothing. What vets? Fournier isn't even in the rotation anymore. Yeah, I mean, Fournier is out of the rotation, man. Golden State Warriors defense is terrible. We got to beat them tonight. Are you guys confident tonight or what? Is Randall going to continue that type of play style? That's a big question. Or is he going to revert back to just being Randall? So it seems like Knicks fans are all on the same page for the most part. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Let's get another dub tonight. Let's get 2 games over 500. Is that too much to ask for? Is it? Is it too much to ask for, guys? Come on. Let's go. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your family, your friends about Knicks Media. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Let's go, Knicks. I'll catch you guys tonight after the Knicks get the dub. Peace out.